Welcome, everybody, and good day to you, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Sahil Gupta. I lead the product and design organization at Murf. We're going to be talking today about the unique challenges of building voice agents for the Indian market. I'm looking forward to the discussion. We'll give people a couple of minutes to join. Uh, any other house rules? We'll take questions at the end. You can key in your questions in the comment section. We have about 20 minutes of content. I'll go through a few slides. And then the last 5 minutes odd, we'll keep over questions. We should be wrapped up in about 30 minutes. Okay, let's give people another 30 seconds, then we can get started. Okay, quick introduction. I've been in the AI assistant space for over a decade. I've spent time in Alexa, artificial general intelligence teams at Amazon, and also worked with physical AI, Amazon Robotics. I am what the Chinese call a sea turtle, someone who returns back home after extended time abroad. I've worked in Boston, Seattle, San Francisco, returned to India a few years ago. Worn a lot of different hats in my career: consultant, investor, analytics leader, revenue head. The longest time has been spent in product management, though. Lots of different contexts: B2B, B2C. So yeah, that's the perspective that I'll be bringing to the table. Background about Murf: we are a venture-funded deep tech startup. We build proprietary models in the audio space. Our models power 3 product lines: Murf Studio, which is a no-code platform to help creators make studio quality voiceovers for multiple use cases like documentaries, presentations, learning and development videos. Murf Dub, which is does the same thing for video localization, so you can upload a video in English and have it translated into any number of languages. And then finally, Murf API, which is we provide infrastructure for the voice agent layer. Okay, before we go into the nuances of what are the problems with voice agents in India, let's do a little bit of level setting. What is a voice agent? If you ever interacted with Alexa, Google Assistant, OpenAI voice mode, those are voice agents. These are more general purpose bots, but you could also build very specific targeted bots that address one use cases. I'll play a little video now, which will help bring this concept live for you. Okay, I believe the audio is not coming. Let me go back and fix that. Aha. Figure it out. Okay.
Hey, all good. Just, chilling in the cloud. Heard today's a big day. You're launching me, right?
Yes, that's the plan. People are listening to you right now. Why don't you tell everyone what makes you so special?
Oh man, all this attention's kind of making me nervous. Anyway, here's the scoop. I'm a Texas-based API built for voice agents. I run at about 55 milliseconds model latency and around 130 milliseconds time the first audio in production. Basically, I can get back to you faster than you can say, get back. And yeah, speak like 35 plus languages. I can even switch between them mid sentence. Comprende?
Nice. Let's put that multilingual ability to the test. Can you say something for our Spanish audience?
Claro que sí. Puedo hablar en más de 35 idiomas, cambiar entre ellos sin problema y mantener el mismo estilo natural en todo momento. Por ejemplo, puedo pasar del español al inglés así de fácil, sin perder el flow. Pretty smooth, huh? So, what other language do you want me to, flex in?
Let's switch to a language I can speak in. आप latency को कैसे consistent रखते हैं?
Edge deployment multiple countries में होने की वजह से latency हर जगह लो रहती है. इससे data residency भी ensure होती है.
You use the term data residency. Can you break that down for me in super simple terms?
Sure. Data residency just means your data's kind of a total homebody. It stays right where it belongs. No long distance relationships with servers in other countries.
That's awesome. Thanks, Falcon. I'll take it from here.
You got it.
Okay. All right, as you just saw, this is an example of a voice agent. It's not a stretch to say that the expectation is that voice will be the next big interface, just like we went from keyboards to touchscreen. There's a number of industry insiders, experts who think that we'll be going from screens to voice. It's a natural way to interact. Humans have been doing it for centuries. And so this is a good time with the advent of LLMs, with speech technology getting much better, to create these very realistic, very natural interfaces. And so we're going to be talking about what it takes to make these voice agents perform well in the Indian context. Again, quick background. A typical voice agent stack consists of 4 big building blocks. First is the speech to text or automated speech recognition models. Their job is to convert waveforms or audio into text. The second one is the LLM, which is the reasoning layer or the natural language understanding layer. The third type of model is the text to speech, which is what we'll be spending our time focused on today. This converts text into audio. And then all of this is powered by an agent application, which does the model orchestration, which manages the hosting, makes it so that people can have a conversation. Okay, what will we cover? We'll start with India-specific TTS challenges in voice agents. We'll talk about how Falcon addresses these, give you a little bit of a sneak peek into what's coming on Falcon, and then turn it over to Q&A. Okay. So first one, and most importantly, it's very important for voice agents to speak the language. We are a country with lots and lots of different languages. We often mix our languages as part of normal conversation. And so it's important for any agent that wants to do well in India to be able to move seamlessly across the languages that customers expect. Most global services only offer a small subset of Indic languages, leaving a large portion of the market unaddressed. And it's also a lot of services or a lot of our competitors are not able to switch between English, Hindi, Kannada as part of a natural conversation. And so having something that feels real and is natural to interact with requires text-to-speech to solve this problem, to be able to shift across these different languages. I have on the screen a list of number of languages supported by the different players we consider competitors who have these natural voices. And I'll play you a couple of clips of what types of errors people see. Let's see. So the word lock was mispronounced. It sounded like lok kar di hai. Again, the word pakad is mispronounced. It meant to say padkar sunao. So these are the types of challenges that people run into when they're creating voice agents in India. Second, for a conversation to feel natural, a person has to respond within 800 milliseconds. Beyond that, the flow is interrupted. Now, in this very tight latency budget, developers want to allocate as much of the latency as possible to LLMs. So TTS needs to be fast. Customers also need the latency to be consistent. Otherwise, some of the silences start feeling awkward, which negatively impacts the naturalness of the experience. Unfortunately, as we did our investigation, we found that the developers were not well served by existing TTS providers in India. Most TTS providers host in the US, causing round-trip times to be well in excess of what customers want to spend. The same thing is true for consistency. We found low consistency in the speed of responses amongst the leading TTS providers. The ones that do provide India residency put it behind very high enterprise commitment requirements. And so, all in all, it's not something that's particularly well addressed for people building in India. Third, for the technology to be adopted, it has to be engineered down to a cost that makes business sense. Most customers tell us that they have a hard time making business models work if they can't get the voice agent cost to 2.5, 3 rupees a minute. After speech to text, LLM, and infrastructure, the most that customers can afford to pay is about ₹1 a minute. This doesn't mean that the customer is willing to sacrifice quality and latency. Plenty of solutions sound like Robocop under that price, but you want to get all three. The question is, how do you get an option that feels real, empathetic, and delightful, but is still engineered to meet the cost that makes sense for India? And lastly, we hear of regulatory challenges in sending data outside of India. Financial services are very careful, healthcare. The compliance requirements mean that these customers need at minimum data residency and quite often on-premise solutions to go to market. The frontier TTS models, the ones that are good enough for voice agents, are only available in the US. There are enough challenges and opportunities in these Western economies that the models haven't yet been made available in other parts of the world. Also, good business reasons. A lot of these models are so heavyweight and require heavyweight computing infrastructure that the utilization of this infrastructure requires that you centralize where inference takes place from, and so you don't have lots of underutilized servers across the world. And so it just means that on-prem and data residency aren't viable for many of the TTS providers. We'll do a little bit of a poll. I have this QR code here. If you can take your phone out, scan the QR code, you'll see a survey. Click on what you have faced as the biggest challenges for voice agents if you're building in India. I'll give maybe 60 seconds for people to do this, and I'll switch to the results. Okay, we're starting to see some responses come in. I'll give it a little bit more time so that we can have good data, get a sense of what this audience is feeling. Okay, maybe 10 more seconds and then I'll switch it over to the results view. Okay, it looks like there's a good spectrum of challenges. This adds up to more than 100% because people can select more than one. So you can see that 67%, 2/3 of people have basically said latency is a problem, as I had sort of pointed out earlier. Cost and voice quality are similar, and language support, followed by code mixing and data residency. It looks like these topics that we covered in terms of challenges cover a vast majority of what people see in terms of challenges of building robust voice agents in India. We switch back to the presentation. Okay, I'd like to take a few moments now to talk through what we've done to address some of these gaps with our new Falcon model. Firstly, we are the fastest and most consistent model amongst all of the competitors we looked at. You can see on the screen, on the left one, we talk about end-to-end model latency, and this is not what is only visible if you go into deep into the model layer and see sort of logs. This is what you will see if you make an API call from a server. You will get a response back in 108 seconds. And often we find that people get confused between what's the right way to measure latency. As a customer, the right way to measure latency is how long does it take for you to get a response back. So we find that Murf is an order of magnitude faster than most other people, and also most consistent. We like to think of this in terms of Paretos. So if you plot latency and consistency on a chart, and you obviously want to be on the bottom left here, the further you can get down the path, the better suited a model is to give you the fast and consistent performance. And we see that Murf does pretty well compared to some of the models that are out there. Second one, truly multilingual across 35 plus languages. We've on this chart I've plotted the most commonly requested Indic languages. These are all ones that Murf supports, and then we've also plotted which are the ones that our competitors support. So, we do offer the widest variety of options for someone looking to build in Indic languages. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of a demo now on what code mixing looks like. And we use it as humans so often. It's interesting to see how it works with an AI. Okay. So notice how the model sounded completely natural. Oh, sorry, there was no audio? One second, let me just confirm. Was there no audio? Okay, in case there was no audio, I can tell you what we just showed. We showed Ankur talking to a voice agent speaking in Indian English. And then as the agents moved from Indian English to Hindi, it was a seamless transition. The voice was native in both. It is, as you might expect, somebody living in Bombay to be able to transition between these two. It pronounced the names correctly. It sounded, as you think about voice agents, one of the things to think about is what is the who do you want representing your brand to your customers, and so you don't want voices where the accent comes off as fake or inauthentic, or sounds like somebody who's foreign speaking. So Murf voices do well from that perspective. Okay. Third benefit, we spoke about latency, we spoke about multilinguality. Third benefit is we are super efficient when it comes to spending your money. Our models very lightweight, and it allows people to build voice agents that are well suited for the Indian market. We have a ROI calculator that allows you to see how much you'll save compared to other TTS providers. I'll open it for you so that you can play with it yourself. But very high level, not only is there a substantial improvement in terms of cost for just the TTS portion, there is a substantial improvement on the entire voice agent. And so you can materially change the economics of your voice agent if you use the Murf TTS. And so yeah, we have this tool where you can select, what are the other options you would consider. You can sort of pick whether it's a simple or a advanced agent. You can also, if you want to, hand select the speech recognition layer and the LLM layer, and then you can see what it saves compared to the other options that are there. All right. And lastly, we offer data residency and on-prem support. So we are hosted in 11 geographies, including India. We did that from day one. And so it's not that we launched our best model in the US and then 6 months later people are getting it. We are global from the day one. We also want to make it easy for customers to stay compliant with regulations, adopt in markets where there may be sensitivity to data leaving the country. And so we will support on-prem, virtual private cloud, the full works. Okay, what's coming down the pipe? Let's see, quick highlights. We are integrated with LiveKit Pipecast, so developers can start using these applications to try out Falcon. If there's a platform that you use to build voice agents that we don't support, please message us and we'll do our very best to support you. We'll soon be supporting avatars and lip sync by providing timestamps at a word level and a phoneme level. We are constantly working on newer versions of our models. We have one under testing right now that's another 10 milliseconds faster. It has new voices, new styles. And so you can keep expecting us to improve our model every few weeks. And that's, I think, all we have time for before we get into questions. So I'll ask Joel, our lead engineer, to join us. And you can post your questions on LinkedIn. And Joel and I will do our very best to answer them. Okay, so I see something from Suyesh. I've noticed a lot of the latency problems in OpenAI voice chat. Yes, we see them as well in terms of both the latency and the reliability, which is why we've engineered Murf to sort of solve them. So yeah, it's not just you. It's anyone who's measured this stuff right knows that these are some of the limitations that people have to overcome. Okay, so Ramadugu said, we tested for agricultural domain Telugu model Falcon and voice ID Zion. The pronunciation is not good. Some words are low pitch and slow and then picking up. Okay, Ramadugu, what I can recommend is we have a couple of levers that we can pull to improve pronunciations. If you can open a chat with our support team, we can give you some of the options. We can also give you some recommendations on what are the types of voices that might work well for your use case. And we are constantly adding new voices and new styles. and so you can expect to see improvements as time passes. Okay, next question. Is it offered in Tamil? Yes, we do. Okay, next question. Sir, I'm working on a voice-to-voice clone real-time language translation example. I'm working on a voice-to-voice clone real-time language translation. Example, like if we have to talk to that person who does not know my language, so I speak in Hindi and another one who knows only English. So my model will clone my model is cloning my voice and translating it into needed language, so another one can understand my voice. Okay, so you're doing a real-time dubbing use case. Yes, that is a good application of this technology. We see this come up where customers want to be able to use a call center to support different regions, or businesses want to be able to use a real-time translation application to be able to talk between offices, so India, Japan, Europe, US, that sort of thing. A lot of what we are building with the voice agent infrastructure, the Falcon API, those could be building blocks for a full real-time dubbing solution. So you're on the right track. Keep going down. It's a real problem. I don't think it's been solved yet. Okay, we have a question which I'll let Joel take now. Joel, which version of PipeCat is Murf integrated with?
So we've tested with PipeCat version 0.0.87. So that is the version that we can confirm that works with the Murf PipeCat plugin. For any other changes or compatibility with the other versions, you can refer to the PipeCat change logs.
Okay, and I think, Joel, the next one is also good for you, which is I'm building a somatic agent, but I'm not good with coding. Have you guys made any pre-code where I can just integrate with API and run?
So we have good starters. So if it's a voice agent, we have good starters for like it. So where you can just clone the code that we have in the GitHub repo and just start it. And it will give you a full voice agent with the front end and back end, everything set up. So we do have good starter examples in our GitHub repos, and we'd be happy to share them with you wherever possible. Yes.
Yeah. The next one, Joel, I don't know if I'd love to hear you chime in on that as well. How can someone approach us if they want to develop their own TTS with our collaboration, with advantage of your tech expertise and own data? Are we doing any developer-facing engagement that might speak to this?
I don't really understand what own TTS is. So is that a new voice?
Or a new model? Yeah. Let's say it's a new voice.
It's a new voice. Then I think we do have voice actor signups where they can come in and use their own voice. And the other thing to do is if it's for your own use, there's voice cloning, but again, that's an enterprise feature. But other than that, yeah, it's contacting info@murf.ai and just going from there.
Okay. All right. I think we have time for a few more questions. How to connect with your team. All right. This is a good plug for us to talk about our Discord community. Joel, you want to provide some?
How to connect with our team? Yes, we do have a Discord server where you can join and you can post your messages there. We have a GitHub channel and also other channels with dedicated for developers to share concerns or feature requests and stuff like that. For enterprise requests, there are other mails such as that. And if it's a tech issue or something along those lines, we do have a live chat in our website, so you can get started talking to a customer support agent directly there. So those are
And then there's a couple of other questions. One is please share your GitHub where the code is uploaded. And the second one is the current PipeCat version of 0.0.97 is not supporting pip install Murf.
I'll have to check that out. But right now, the version that we do support is the 0.0.871. 9.7, if it's not supported, we can assure you that we'll update our plugins so that it's up to date. Yes.
Okay, stay tuned. And then our GitHub, where the code is uploaded.
The GitHub account would be github.com/murf-ai. It's very simple. Murf Dash, it's just Murf AI, and all our repos will be there. It contains our Murf SDK as well as the cookbook and all the starter repos that we support. Yes, we'll do that.
And Joel, they can also find their way to our GitHub through our API dashboard, right? We have a link to going to GitHub.
Yes, we have links in the API dashboard as well as in the docs. We have examples for our plugins, which is again open source in our GitHub repo, and they're in the docs. And also the cookbook, the link to the cookbook is also in the docs. Yes.
Got it. I think this is all we have time for today. We're at the end of our allocated time. Thank you so much for joining us, and it was wonderful to get so many questions. We look forward to seeing you